can sing.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to episode 1925, 1925. I'm Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Podcastro Valley today.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Yay! And a Monday. And sometimes I don't do podcasts on Mondays, but I missed doing it on Sunday. Why? Because I got up late. My lovely lady friend just spent the day eating delicious breakfast stuff, and we prayed.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Because it was Sunday, and you pray on Sunday. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe we did, but what
Mike's
I did for sure
Daily
is went to a haunted house
Podcast
in Pleasanton.
Yeah!
And it was the 5th time I've been to this haunted house. I go there. It's a tradition now. I go with Trisha Ferguson. She's on the radio station KKDV. I also go with Aaron Fonseca, who I worked with way back when in Ventura County. We actually worked, he worked on a pop station called B95.1, a hot AC, as they say, adult contemporary. But it was hot because they played more of the rock and they played stuff that was a little more hopping. And then there was and I was on the country station. We were both working at night. I have to tell you, we got into a little bit of mischief. He's very mischievous. And he's been on the podcast. So and my lovely lady friend too. So the 4 of us went to this place in Pleasanton that does these haunted houses and whatnot. And it was fun. Here's the thing though, I am amazed I'm not hoarse today. Last year I went to this thing with the same people, and this time that we had someone named Don who has also been on the show. And I was hoarse, could not talk barely at a whisper. But it was a fun time, and I think you need to go out and do something fun for the Halloween.
And here's today's podcast picture.
For the Halloween time, celebrate Dia de los Muertos, or do something, I don't know, do trunk or treat. That's the thing that churches do, is trunk or treat, because they don't want to do the whole satanic thing. Even though it's not, you don't really have to make it that. You can just celebrate, I don't know, it's like a form of carnival. Yes, pagan-y, but still, I think from a psychological point of view, and I am no psychologist, but I do know that deep down humans psychologically like to pretend. They like to pretend, they like to play like Basil's playing right there. Basil. And you need to get out of your rigmarole, your routine, your thing that you are all the time, and become something you're not. I mean, don't hurt anyone in the process. But, you need to step outside. And why? Because you need that perspective. You need the big picture. You need to see, one time I played a scary guy, like a vampire or something. Maybe I was the angel from Doctor Who, the Blink Angel, the Weeping Angel. I did that. I wore that mask one time, and one time I was a Cyberman because I'm a Doctor Who fan, and it was good. I stepped out on my zone. I mean, it wasn't the most creative costumes. I am not very creative with my costumes, I must say. But my lovely lady friend and I went and we got scared, and we stepped into a whole other world of craziness and creativity. I always find haunted houses extremely creative. The ones, don't go into an actual haunted house that's fallen apart, that's being squatted by several stinky the people that need mental health, living in a bad condition type place. It's not good. Bugs, scabies, rats, don't want to be in that position. But the fun ones that are the rides is what I'm saying, that thing. It was funny. In one of the rooms, they were playing the theme song to the Haunted Mansion, which is Disney, right? Disneyland. And I'm thinking, wow, that's pretty gutsy. In today's world where Disney sues everybody and everything. Hey, if you're not doing anything right now and this podcast is boring the crap out of you, go over to Honest Trailers and watch their shakedown of the new Spider-Man movie. And one of the things they point out is it is the second Spider-Man movie in like the past 20 years. Because remember, Tobey Maguire did a second Spider-Man movie in that first series, and then Andrew Garfield did a second Spider-Man movie. And now they've done a second Spider-Man movie. And I don't know why you would go see these stupid movies, but people do. Because they're bored. They want to step outside of their comfort zone. They want to step outside of their world for a fresh perspective when they go back into their world. I think that's what I'm saying. Perspective, a fresh perspective is what we need sometimes here. But let me just say this one thing, if I may. And the podcast picture is of my lovely lady friend and I at a haunted house in Pleasanton, having a fun time. Although at some point we got kind of tired and we had to say adieu to Trisha and Aaron. But I guess Trisha Ferguson posted on the KKDV website for the Facebook page, rather, on their Facebook page. I think it's at 921 KKDV. We chatted a little bit after riding the first ride. I call them rides. It's a walkthrough. It's a dark ride walkthrough, I think is technically what it is, but it's fun. And what's interesting about those things, I don't know if you know this or not, they cannot touch you. That can be a whole legal brouhaha if they do that. So all those actors that come at you and scare you, they can do anything but touch you. They can just freak the crap out of you as they jump out from behind a corner, which they do a lot of. But they just can't touch you. So they've come up with all kinds of creative ways. Like this one guy was on some kind of bungee jump, and that's hard work. That guy was jumping all night, jumping at people. Yikes. And then, of course, the costumes. And so they have this particular one has, 5 actual attractions. Haunted houses that you walk through. One of them was themed just a regular house with all kinds of things going wrong, like the kitchen. There's stuff, weird, disgusting food in the kitchen, and then, rats. And then there's this one electric that you're in a room and all this electric wires are dangling and you can get killed that way. And then there was another ride that had, I think, a bunch of clowns. It was like a circus oriented one. One year, a couple years back, they did this Christmas themed one, which was funny. It was Christmas, but it was Halloween at the same time. So you had like a scary demon Santa, which isn't that what he is? He's not a saint. He's a demon. Isn't that the lore? That Santa Claus is Demon Claus? I don't know. Cafe, I don't know. I mean, cafe anyway. And then the other one they always have a pirate themed one. Because I haven't said the name of this haunted house, but it has to do with pirates. And I may or may not do the commercial for the place. I'm just not going to give them a plug on my podcast, if you don't mind. And then they also have like a redneck themed one where you walk. That was pretty creative, actually, because you're walking through and you see all these mannequins that are supposed to be the people living in this shack. And they look all weird. And they actually bought a storage container that you walk through. So that it was creative, and then the guy comes at you, of course, actually it was a woman with just screaming at you like, "Say excuse me," and she's got one of those gas chainsaws, and she's revving it up, and that just scares And then there's a guy with a baseball bat that was walking next to my lovely lady friend and saying, "What's your name?" And I said, "Her name's Jenny," which it's not. And the guy kept going, "Hey, Jenny. I remember you, Jenny. Jenny." Oh, he was weird, that guy. And there's the mist. They have a mist thing. You're outside. It's wonderful in California. We have such great weather. You can actually build part of your haunted house attractions outside. But what's really scary, as I transition to from a male to female, no, I'm not going to do that. I know everybody knows someone who's doing that these days, but I'm not. I'm just going to transition to a different topic. How about that? Don't take advantage of nice people. That's what I want to tell you. If I'm nice to you, don't think just because I'm nice to you that you can ask me to do all the crap that you should do yourself, but you're lazy, but you're scared little boy. Because that's what scares you, is confronting people. It's saying to someone like your management, like your boss, hey, I don't feel comfortable doing something. So instead, I'm going to throw Mike in the way to be Mike's going to do my job for me. Mike's going to be my mouthpiece. No, enough. I am no one's minion. Let that settle in. And you can say that with me. I am no one's minion. Don't take advantage of me because I am nice. To me, that is the lowest of the low. When you take advantage of nice people. I have such a... that's a button if you press, you get the bad Mike. You get Hulk. Hulk smash. And I get mad. I get mighty mad when that happens. Mighty Mike gets mad when people take advantage of nice people because they're lazy. So, pass that around, will ya? That needs to stop. Toot sweet. Yes, the podcast picture is of that. And then also, I, as in the words of my friend Kevin, you, Mike, need to get a new phone. I really do. Because every picture I take, I now have to use the selfie camera. And it's so awful. Here's something I'd just like to say. Throw this out there. Please respond at 336MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6 MM as in Mike Matthews Daily as in what this podcast is. First off, is it Lizzo? She sings that song, Truth Hurts. Oh, that's a good song. It's an annoying, wonderful, captivating song. And it is absolutely a one-hit wonder. What, Mike? No, she's had other hits. No, she has not. That is a one-hit wonder all the way. If you have not heard it yet, you will, because it is a one-hit wonder. Hey, millennials. Millennials have anxious ums. What? Yes, millennials have that anxious ums. Millennials have anxious ums. Where they came from, I don't know. But you can tell me 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6 MM is Mike Matthews Daily is what this podcast is. This podcast is trying to be daily anyway. We'll see how it goes this week. And the media is not going after Trump. Okay, some media is, but not the media. Some media, not the media. Can we clear that up once and for all? Trump makes stupid mistakes because he's a novice. He's never been president before. He's a first-termer, all right? So Obama was not ever president before. Just go on down the line. And his sycophants make every possible ridiculous excuse for him. But their biggest one is the ends justify the means. The ends justify the means. And you can't argue with that, because if you are successful because something Trump did, or you can draw that rationale, then you say Trump is great. But at the same time, he is a novice. He makes stupid mistakes. And I wish the people that are his sycophants would just at least admit that. He makes mistakes. But they make every possible excuse for him. It's crazy. I don't get that. I don't get attacking him constantly. At some point, we got to think about the country and realize this is what we have. And spending all our time impeaching him is not going to help anything. But at the same time, what the heck? You cannot be a Trump supporter and not go, yeah, maybe he shouldn't have said that one thing, or maybe he shouldn't have done that one thing. But at the same time, I flip it around. What the heck? If this was Obama making these mistakes, I don't know. Any president will. I know. So I heard an interesting politician or political commentator type person say something that we got to stop calling these politicians leaders. They're not leaders. They're representatives. And the whole thing about leading, and he's not a leader or she's not a leader. Well, maybe do they represent me? That's the important thing. Okay, well, let's leave it at that. What do you think about that, huh? What do you think about that perspective? That point of view? But we haven't said hi to the podcast people, the Cafe Anyway characters, the place. This is where we are, Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on earth. Let's say hi to some people here at Cafe Anyway. It's so nice. Oh, and Oktoberfest continues here. Yay for October. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
Answer Disgruntled Fiddle Player tell you what.
What?
Anybody that says anything bad about Trump hates America.
Okay, and look who else is here.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. Have some right now. Oh, boy, I'll cut you.
You know, Kevin at the brewery that he works at, 21st Amendment, did a perfect impression of you, and he actually did pull a knife on me, and that was interesting.
Yeah, well, I actually pulled a knife on you, too. Oh, boy.
Actually, that's just a toothpick.
Oh, boy.
And I will have some of your root beer. Thank you. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Thank you for listening. Be nice. Dang it.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.